But stop acting like there's one way to be black. Stop acting like black women are hoes. Stop acting like baby mama culture is us, because if that's the case, then you have to explain to me why there's more white women on welfare. There's more white women who benefit from affirmative action. There's more white women who benefit from DEI than black women. And please, please, please stop acting like every black man is out here trying to rob, grape, or you tired of lies and leftovers? The Real Black Agenda is crushing 3 bestsellers list. Grab it on Amazon or hit the link in my Instagram bio at @TheBusinessBully before they try and silence it. All right, get your Twitter fingers ready. It's time for us to have the definitive conversation about black culture. There's so many people throughout the diaspora that feel like they want to have an opinion, chime in, give their 2 cents or food stamp amount worth of what they think black culture is. The truth of the matter, as a person that has lived in 34 cities in 19 states, black culture is not a monolith. And I know you hear people say all the time, well, black people aren't a monolith. Well, we're not. You know, hell, I'm married and me and my wife are diametrically opposed on several things. However, there's a lot of commonalities. One thing that I hear many people saying, including my good friend Frank Zanu, says, black people have no culture. They have no culture. I'm like, whoa. First of all, I hate to break this to everybody, but spoiler alert, foundational black Americans are the culture. We are emulated like everybody on the face of the planet in such a way where now even K-pop is nothing but remixed R&B. Everything that you think is American culture, with very few exceptions, can be rooted in foundational blackness. Having lived in St. Louis, having lived in Detroit, having lived in Florida, Tennessee, Texas, North Carolina, Alaska, Hawaii, there's different dialects, there's different customs, there's different ways in which we move. The other part that bothers me, throughout the diaspora, I have seen so many people take pot shots at foundational black Americans because of a stereotype that has been put there, not by foundational black Americans themselves, but by suspected white supremacists, gatekeepers who own and control the media and also own and control what most people by and large consider the culture. See, how could it be the culture when the NAACP is rooted in whiteness? The NAACP did not have a black president until my mother was pregnant with me in the mid-70s, and the NAACP Image Awards are not owned by black people. The BET Hip Hop Awards, or any BET award for that matter, is not owned by black people. Black people do not own the media by and large. We own less than 3% of all media. Therefore, we do not control the narrative around our people. And by that, I mean that we are unique in that in America. Italian Americans control their narrative. Korean Americans control their narrative. Doesn't matter how much money I make. Doesn't matter how much money my business partner makes. We can't buy an inch of land in Chinatown because everybody else gets to gatekeep their culture. And when I say gatekeeping, here's what I mean. Kyrie Irving got canceled for recommending a documentary on Amazon that showed people in a light that they didn't deem positive. And they came with a list of demands, including he had to come and get a re-education. He had to donate this amount of money. He had to do all of these other things because he was just ignorant and anti-you-know-what. And the truth of the matter is, stay with me on this. I'm not mad at that. What I am mad at is we don't have an ABL. There's an anti-defamation league, but there's not an anti-blackness league. We need to start policing people and start running their pockets when they say something out of pocket that we don't agree with. We champion our destruction. And when I mean our destruction, I mean these reality shows that show black women ripping each other's weaves and lace fronts off, snatching baby hairs off, throwing drinks at each other, talking crazy in front of, about, and around our kids at each other, elevating these thug caricatures that are not real men whatsoever, or having the most soft-ass, emasculated, pink panty thong-ass version of masculinity, because that's not toxic. We're not in control of our music. We are not in control of our sports. We are not in control of our outlets. We are not even in control of our churches. And if you think I'm lying, explain the faith-based initiatives. Explain somebody like Creflo Dollar Jr., who was put on by Kenneth Copeland to be the black arm of Kenneth Copeland Ministries, allegedly. Explain how you have black leaders walking around trying to extort Target for $250 million while ignoring all of the other racist entities that permeate through densely populated black neighborhoods, better known as the hood for short. Our culture has been infiltrated, our culture has been coerced, co-opted, and flipped for profit that we do not see a red cent of. I'm a huge advocate for making sure that we control our narrative, that we operate with dignity and respect, and that we need to start shaming individuals who operate against our principles. And that doesn't mean that we need to see everything monolithically, but at the end of the day, if someone is corrupting blackness for their own devices, that's a problem. How much money are we making from K-pop? Not much, if any at all. How much money did we make off of New Kids on the Block or NSYNC or the Backstreet Boys? Justin Timberlake sat up there and said, better have you naked by the end of this song. Janet Jackson got canceled and he went on to be the man of the woods who decided to beat his feet in the DC, Maryland, Virginia area and looked weird as hell. But he gets to do that while riding off in the sunset with Jessica Biel. That's what they do. Miley Cyrus spent an entire 3 years twerking on Mike Will Made It and then came right back to singing country songs. Christina Aguilera got down with Redman in that Dirty song and then came right back with I am beautiful no matter what they say. Girl, bye. Everybody profits from our rhythm, but they do not want to fix our blues. And so it is up to us to fix our blues. And that's exactly why I wrote The Real Black Agenda, available right now at therealblackagenda.com. Yeah, I'm plugging it because you need to read it, because it will give you solutions that you all say you want in the comments section. But stop acting like there's one way to be black. Stop acting like black women are hoes. Stop acting like baby mama culture is us, because if that's the case, then you have to explain to me why there's more white women on welfare. There's more white women who benefit from affirmative action. There's more white women who benefit from DEI than black women. And please, please, please stop acting like every black man is out here trying to rob, grape, or steal from you. Stop acting like we're all a bunch of uneducated boobs. We're not. Most of us like to move around. A lot of us like to work with our hands. And do you think it's coincidental? Oh God, I'm not going to do Dr. Umar again. You don't find that suspicious? You don't find that suspicious? You don't find that suspicious that there's no more metal shop, there's no more wood shop, there's no more auto shop, there's no more Job Corps? All of these things are things that could allow black men to maximize their skills so that they are not fighting for minimum wage. You see, our culture is one of creativity, resilience, and ingenuity. It is unique throughout any place in the diaspora because we had to figure it out. We are a hodgepodge of many different regions of the motherland. And you also have to take into consideration that we're also a part of the people who are already here. I turn your attention to Before the Mayflower by Lerone Bennett Jr. or They Came Before Columbus by Ivan Van Sertima. So you can have a full understanding of who we are, where we've been, and unlike a lot of other places, we are the individuals that had the smallest amount of slave ships come and drop us off. We were bred over and over and over again. So while everybody talks about how jacked up black culture is, there's not a place in history that shows any of the warships from the motherland coming to get us. So we were left to our own devices. We had to take weeds and turn them into collard greens. We had to take the innards of pigs and turn them into chitterlings. So when you understand that we had to endure the fact that our women were constantly used to please massa, our women were constantly used to breastfeed their white babies, our women were constantly used to breed more big, strong black bucks, and then those children were then sold off to the highest bidder, you don't have an understanding of the fact that many black people watch their babies be fed to alligators for sport or hung by trees. A lot of that is unique to what has happened to us here. And a lot of us are in a position where we have been subjected, beaten down, beaten up, beaten over. And that does not make us victims. It makes us unique that we have survived all of that, and we are dealing with a unique brand of post-traumatic stress disorder that rears its ugly head in several ways. So no, there's not one way to be black, but there is a wrong way to be black, and it is the whitewashed, co-opted, homogenized, misogynized, mischaracterized version of what they put on your TV screen that you then use as evidence for what you think our culture is. On top of that, you'll hear people say things like, well, what is their culture? Twerking? I don't know if you know this or not, but twerking is a derivative of dances that took place on the motherland in order to attract a worthy suitor for marriage, because women would wrap their hips to make them look wider so that they could survive the labors of childbirth, and they would move their asses in a way that's very similar to watching city girls twerk. But you're not ready for that conversation, so I'll skip it for now. The bottom line is, there isn't one right way to be black, but there certainly is a few wrong ways to believe blackness is somehow derogatory. If you got a question for Ask Dave Anderson, you can email me directly, dave@businessbullyshow.com. Follow me, shoot me a DM on Instagram or any social media platform at The Business Bully. Make sure you comment, rate, and subscribe. And oh, I know you got a lot to comment on this one. And we'll see you next time right here on I Never Knew TV.